Alright, we are back with another video, and today's video I'm going to be talking about the 2023 releases that I'm particularly excited about that are coming out in the next couple of months. I have a ton of 2023 releases on my to check out list, so I think I'm just going to be breaking this out throughout the year and then just do like a couple months in advance. And disclaimer, I'm going to put up the published date, but these dates are, of course, as I saw it at the time of filming, but obviously those dates could change. And I've said this before, but I don't really read the full synopsis on books. I'm kind of more of a blurb reader, so we can read the blurbs together for these. It doesn't take much to convince me to buy a book. Okay, there are quite a few, so let's get started. So January, starting with January 3rd, is The Villa by Rachel Hawkins. Deliciously wicked gothic suspense set at an Italian villa with a dark history. As secrets from the past come to light, equally dangerous betrayals from the present also emerge, and it begins to look like the villa will claim another victim. It says it's inspired by Fleetwood Mac, the Manson murders, and the infamous summer Percy and Mary Shelley spent with Lord Byron at a Lake Geneva castle, which, if you're not familiar, is kind of the birthplace of the Frankenstein novel. This sounds good. I'm 100% on board. Also, coming out January 3rd is The Black House by Carol Johnstone. This is the author of Mirrorland, and this is a richly atmospheric thriller set on an isolated Scottish island where nothing is as it seems, and shocking twists lie around every corner. A remote village, a deadly secret, and an outsider who knows the truth. Dun, dun, dun. Sounds good, and this cover's pretty cool. I like the upside down stuff. Alright, moving on. January 10th is All the Dangerous Things by Stacey Willingham. This is a gripping thriller about a desperate mother with a troubled past. So I actually have already read this one. This was a early release pick for Book of the Month, the December selections. So this is a pretty good twisty thriller. This is the same author that did Flicker in the Dark or something last year. So this was her second novel. I thought it was a pretty good twisty thriller. So yeah. Also coming out on the 10th is The Things We Do to Our Friends by Heather Derwent. She's an outsider desperate to belong, but the cost of entry might be her darkest secret in this intoxicating debut about a clique of dangerously ambitious students. I think this is set at a university, so I was getting dark academia vibes, and I'm here for it. I actually got an arc of this one through NetGalley, so thank you to Ballantine Books for that. Also on the 10th is Liar, Dreamer, Thief by Maria Dong. Says it's a gripping page-turner as well as a sensitive exploration of mental health. Liar, Dreamer, Thief is an intimate portrayal of life in all its complexities and the dangers inherent in unveiling people's most closely guarded secrets. Yeah, this sounds so good. I'm intrigued. Alright, also on January 10th is The Nightmare Man by J.H. Markert. It says this is T. Kingfisher meets Cassandra Caw, which, I mean, you already had me intrigued. Says it's a chilling horror novel that illustrates the fine line between humanity and monstrosity. I think I was reading up on this one a little bit, and I think it has like a scarecrow that comes to life or something. I'm excited. Also on the 10th is Bad Cree by Jessica Johns. In this gripping horror-laced debut, a young Cree woman's dreams lead her on a perilous journey of self-discovery that ultimately forces her to confront the toll of a legacy of violence on her family, her community, and the land they call home. Sounds good. And next one comes out also on the 10th is Ghost Music by Anu. This is a enchanting and contemplative novel of music and mushrooms, which follows a former concert pianist searching for the truth about a vanished musician. You had me at music and mushrooms. Well, looks like January 10th is going to be an expensive day. Alright, moving on to January 17th is How to Sell a Haunted House by Grady Hendrix. Yay, a new one from the one and only Hendrix. Says it's his take on the haunted house in a thrilling new novel that explores the way your past and your family can haunt you like nothing else. Looking forward to it. And knowing Grady, there's going to be like a good mix of humor and horror. Oh, love it. Also, you might already know this, but I have discovered that this cover is a house by the water. Like there's sand and then it's on like a little patch of grass by the water. It is not a dollhouse on a piece of carpet shoved against the baseboard like I originally thought. But now you can't unsee it, right? Okay, moving on. Also on the 17th is Tell Me I'm Worthless by Alison Rumfitt. I think this is actually a reprint, but just under a new publisher. The blurb says it's a dark, unflinching haunted house story that confronts both supernatural and real-world horrors through the lens of the modern-day trans experience. And the new publisher is Tor Nightfire. I'm going to throw up the original cover. I don't know who published the original one, but you actually might be more familiar with this cover because I've seen it floating around BookTube the last couple of years. So, also on the 17th is What Lies in the Woods by Kate Alice Marshall. There were 11 when they sent a killer to prison. They were heroes, but they were liars. Dun, dun, dun. This was part of the Book of the Month January selections, so I already have this one coming my way, and I'm looking forward to it. This is one of those authors that I always buy her books, but I have yet to actually read one, so, you know, why not start with the most recent one? Alright, on January 24th is All Hallows by Christopher Golden. Says, with the 80s nostalgia of Stranger Things, this horror drama follows neighborhood families and a mysterious lurking evil on one Halloween day. Oh, so excited for this one, and I freaking love this cover. Also on the 24th is Episode 13 by Craig DeLuey. This is a heart-pounding novel of horror and psychological suspense that takes a ghost-hunting reality TV crew into a world they could never have imagined. Says it's House of Leaves meets Haunting of Hill House in all the best possible ways. Oh, get in my cart. And this cover is really freaking creepy. And last but not least, on January 31st is The Drift by C.J. Tudor. 3 ordinary people risk everything for a chance at redemption in this gripping novel of catastrophe and survival at the end of the world. Sounds good, and I actually got an art of this one as well through NetGalley, so thank you to Ballantine Books for the art. All right, moving on to February. First on February 7th is Don't Fear the Reaper by Stephen Graham Jones. This is the second book following My Heart as a Chainsaw. Obviously I can't say much since it's a sequel, but in the first book they introduced like the lore of a lake witch. So I think this one is supposed to be more along that plot line. Either way, I'm looking forward to it. I know My Heart as a Chainsaw got a lot of mixed reviews, but I really enjoyed it. It was a very good nod to horror genre in general and slasher. So yeah, looking forward to it. Also on February 7th is The Spite House by Johnny Compton. This is a terrifying gothic thriller about grief and death in the depths of a father's love. Yeah, I really don't want to know more. The cover is pretty ominous, and the synopsis is ominous, and I'm here for it. It does say it's the Babadook meets A Head Full of Ghosts, which is really interesting. The Babadook is one of my favorite movies, and A Head Full of Ghosts by Paul Tremblay is a fantastic book. And I actually got an art of this one through NetGalley, and I'm so excited. So thank you to Tor Nightfire for that. Moving on, another one coming out on February 7th is Our Share of Night by Mariana Enriquez. A woman's mysterious death puts her husband and son on a collision course with her demonic family. They had me at demonic. And I think this was actually released last year over in the UK, I think around like Halloween time. And the UK edition actually has a different cover, which is equally awesome. I honestly think I might purchase both copies just to have both hands. And I actually did get this one as well as an art through NetGalley, so thank you to Random House for that. All right. Also on February 7th is Angeline by Anna Quinn. This is a moving, lyrical, melancholy, and spiritual novel in which Sister Angeline, unwillingly sent to a radical convent and confronting her tragic past, asks the deep question: you follow your heart or follow the rules? I don't usually read religious fiction because I'm not really a religious person, but I'm intrigued and I am expecting some good conversational points probably about religion, so I'm intrigued. And it's set in the Pacific Northwest, which is where I live, so I'm sold purely on that aspect. And the last one that I have for February 7th is Big Swiss by Jen Bagan. This is a brilliantly original and funny novel about a sex therapist's transcriptionist who falls in love with a client while listening to her sessions. When they accidentally meet in real life, an explosive affair ensues. I don't even know why I put this on my list, but it sounds so interesting. And this cover kind of freaks me out a little bit, so. All right, on February 14th is Bright and Deadly Things by Lexi Elliott. This is a remote back to basics mountaintop retreat in the French Alps, which turns deadly as an Oxford fellow finds herself in the crosshairs of her late husband's dangerous secrets. Woo! I do love my stranded thrillers, and I'm excited for this one. Although I will say I'm not entirely pleased on the cover. I don't know, it looks too happy. Is that a thing? Okay. Next on February 21st is Sister Maiden Monster by Lucy A. Snyder. Says this is a visceral story set in the aftermath of our planet's disastrous transformation and told through the eyes of 3 women trying to survive the nightmare. Yes, please. Also coming out on the 21st of February is The Destroyer of Worlds by Matt Ruff. In this thrilling adventure, a blend of enthralling historical fiction and fantastical horror, Matt Ruff returns to the world of Lovecraft Country and explores the meaning of death, the hold of the past on the present, and the power of hope in the face of uncertainty. Sounds really good. I have not read Lovecraft Country yet, but of course I'm going to pick up the second book. Also on the 21st is I Have Some Questions for You by Rebecca Mackay. In the riveting new novel from the author of The Great Believers, a woman must reckon with her past when new details surface about a tragedy at her elite New England boarding school. Again, I'm almost kind of feeling Dark Academia vibes, but almost science fiction-y. Doesn't the cover look kind of science fiction-y? And I think the main character is like a podcaster too, which is also one of my buzzwords. So, looking forward to that one. And lastly, on the 21st is The Writing Retreat by Julia Bartz. Says this is the plot meets Please Join Us in this psychological suspense debut about a young author at an exclusive writer's retreat that descends into a nightmare. A writing competition at a secluded location. I'm so in for that. I did receive this as an ARC from NetGalley, so thank you to Atria Books for that. I do like this cover. There is another cover that I saw. I don't know if this is the UK edition or just another cover. I think I like the other one better, but this one does have blood on it, so that's promising. Which one do you all like? Alright, on February 28th is The Angel Maker by Alex North. Says, from the New York Times best-selling author of The Whisper Man in the Shadows comes a dark, suspenseful new thriller about the mysteries of fate, the unbreakable bond of siblings, and a notorious serial killer who was said to know the future. Well, I will never say no to a book with a serial killer in it. Also on the 28th is She Is a Haunting by Tran. Sorry if I mispronounced that. This is a gothic mystery in which Jade's father is determined to restore a decrepit home to its former glory, and Jade is the only person who feels the soul-crushing devastation of colonialism lingering within its walls. Says it's perfect for fans of Mexican Gothic. Ooh, I wonder if there's going to be some body horror in this. And this freaking cover. I love this freaking cover. It's so cool. Alright, also on the 28th is The Crane Husband by Kelly Barnhill. Okay, I'm going to read you more of the synopsis on this one because I was a little bit confused. So it says a 15-year-old teenager is the backbone of her small Midwestern family, budgeting the household finances and raising her younger brother, while her mom, a talented artist, weaves beautiful tapestries. For 6 years, it's been just the three of them. Her mom has brought home guests at times, but none have ever stayed. Okay, now here's the sentence that made me add this to my list, because I was like, what the hell? Yet, when her mom brings home a 6-foot-tall crane with a menacing air, the girl is powerless to prevent her mom letting the intruder into her heart and her children's lives. I mean, come on. Crane love is not something I've read before. And I am 100% intrigued. Plus, the cover got me. It's just stunning. And I don't know if that means there's going to be some body horror. But it's stunning either way. All right, and the last one that I have on my list also comes out on February 28th, which is Delicious Monsters by Liselle Sambury. This is a evocative and mind-bending psychological thriller following two teen girls navigating the treacherous past of a mysterious mansion set 10 years apart. Says it's the haunting of Hill House meets Sadie, which sounds like just an interesting crossover. And of course, can we all admire the cover? It's beautiful. All right, so that's everything that I had for January and February. I'm sure I'm missing some. I always get surprised by stuff. And of course I have book boxes, so I always end up getting some random thing that I didn't know was coming out. But yeah, I think 2023 is going to be another good year for book releases. I'm looking forward to it. What about you? Did any of these spark your interest? Are there any that you're looking forward to coming out in January and February? Let me know. I could always add books to my list. All right. Thanks for sticking around, and I'll see you in my next video.